In this video, I would like to talk with you about Quora marketing. Now, one way how you can promote your Fiverr gig is through Quora. Quora is a platform where you can ask questions and answer questions. And of course, this leaves a lot of room for promotion. So what we can do is this. We can answer questions on here, and in those answers, we can promote whatever we want to promote. Of course, in our case, that's probably going to be our Fiverr gig. So let's, for instance, say you're interested in the things that I'm interested in, let's say Mandarin learning or science of every day or fine arts or ideas or anything like that. Then you probably got to think about this. Can I promote what I'm offering in the things that I'm really interested in, so that when I, for instance, write an answer to a question, that I know what I'm talking about, but also at the same time that I have fun doing that. Now, of course, if there's something that you are very interested in, let's say startup and founders, and you realize, all right, there's a lot of demand for certain things, then of course you can promote yourself here. So there are questions on here like how do billionaires like Elon Musk protect themselves against kidnapping, and so on and so on. Then here we go. If you could be one of these people, who would you be? What's the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur? Like, all of these are different kinds of questions that you could be answering. So let's, for instance, say you would be interested in answering this question right here. Then you just click on that question, and then you click right here on answer, basically. So let's see. All right, I already have an answer draft on this. All right, so click edit draft. And then right here, we can answer that question. So if, for instance, we say, well, I want to answer that question, I want to give this person an answer, then I can type in my answer right here. So the question is, in this case, what's the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur? And then what you could do is you could, for instance, describe what the difference is and tell that you are an entrepreneur and that you are not a businessman. Because for everyone who doesn't know the difference right now, a businessman is basically more like a manager, someone who manages businesses, who runs businesses, and an entrepreneur is someone who is still actively working in those businesses. So for instance, what you could do here is you could say, well, I am an entrepreneur, but the difference between entrepreneur and a businessman is this. For me, as, let's say, for instance, a Fiverr seller, and then you can link your gigs in here, I would count as an entrepreneur. So let's write an answer right here, just a simple answer, like the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur is that a businessman is running businesses and not actively working in them. An entrepreneur is actively running businesses, mostly one business, and is not just managing them. And then you could, for instance, say I would count as an entrepreneur because I am a Fiverr seller. Then you could just, mark all of this, and then you just go up here to this link. And what you could do is you could just link that up and link that to, let's say, fiverr.com/ and then of course this should be your URL. This should be the URL, for instance, of your gig. And then you just click right here on add, and then there we go. You just link that. So it says I would count as an entrepreneur because I'm a Fiverr seller. I actively run my businesses. I sell services and do not manage other people who do the services for me. If you were a businessman, you would not do the work that I am doing. You would rather hire people to do it for you. And then you could just write a couple more things. And when you're done with this, you just simply click right here on submit, and then you're good to go. But the important part here is that I linked this. I linked this right here. It says Fiverr seller. And when people click on this, they will go directly to the URL that we put in here. So fiverr.com/example. And that is what you can do as well. You can basically just submit a lot of answers, and then over here to the right you can see a lot of different kinds of questions which are very similar to this one. And you can just take this answer right here, open up these other questions, like this one for instance. What's the difference between an entrepreneurship and a businessman? Well, okay, so it's pretty much the same question. Or what's the difference between startup founders and entrepreneurs? And then what's the difference between a businessman, an entrepreneur, and a merchant? Like, you can open up all of these different kinds of questions and you can answer all of those too. And what you can see here is, for instance, this one has very, very few answers. It only has one answer, but this one received 443 views, which is actually pretty impressive. Like, for just one answer on a question which doesn't seem to be very popular, 443 views is pretty good. All right, so let's have a look at a couple more questions. The one that we just opened, this one right here, has 31 answers. Let's see how much traffic these receive right here. This one, for instance, received, let's see, this one received 2,000 views, has 92 upvotes, and probably if this person were would be promoting himself, would have probably earned quite a lot of money. So here, the same thing. What's the difference between a businessman, an entrepreneur, and a merchant? And here you go, 3 answers. This person has the top answer right now, and it has 4,600 views. And for the question that we just had a look at in the beginning, this one right here, this top answer, let's actually have a look at this. The top answer has how many views? I think probably more than 100,000. There we go. 215,000 views for one single answer. If this person were to promote himself, he would have made a lot of money. All right, so when you actually put up questions on here, when you put up answers on here, these questions, these answers will receive a lot of traffic over time. Now, if you want to actually not answer questions, but you want to ask questions, just go up here and click on Add Question, and then you can right here type down your question. If you want to check out spaces, so basically spaces where you could be interested in, then you can just click up here in spaces and discover things that you might find interesting. For instance, let's say you're interested in smart business, then you click right here in smart business, and then there are lots and lots of people posting right here, lots of different kinds of questions being asked, and then you can answer these questions too and generate even more traffic for your business. So Quora in general is a super simple way to promote your business, to grow your Fiverr business, and I would recommend you to go on Quora and to promote yourself here. But alright, that was it now here for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope we can see each other in the next one.